Looks like John Maley's back with the Cubs. He was their hitting coach when they went to 3 consecutive National League Championship series, and then he was fired. Why? Why does that even happen to a guy that had so much success? We're going to talk about that, what John Mallee going back to the Cubs means. And what we want to do is add you to our coaching staff. It's really easy to do. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up if you like Cubs videos. And don't forget that the Cubs baseball channel is presented by the 2023 Southern League champion Tennessee Smokies. They hadn't won a championship in 45 years, and they have put out so much gear to celebrate, Cubs gear, Smokies gear, that they want you to check it out. SmokiesBaseball.com/store. All right, guys, it's great to see John Mallee added back to the Cubs Major League coaching staff. And it was a mystery to me in the first place why he was ever let go in the first place. And I think a lot of you are wondering why. Well, I'll tell you why. And it really didn't dawn on everyone until Chili Davis replaced him. And then Chili was there for a year. And then all of a sudden, no one could work with those guys because they had it all figured out. They won the World Series in 2016. And unfortunately, they didn't really want to hear what a hitting coach had to say. They didn't want to really hear what those guys, at least that's what the reports I got were, that the hitting coaches felt like they really weren't taken seriously. And like every single player wanted to have their own hitting coach. Maybe like in golf, everyone has their own caddy. Maybe that was the situation with the Cubs. But looking at it now, compared to where we were in 2016 and then in 17, you feel like maybe they should have listened to Chili Davis. They should have listened to John Mallee. So it's good to see John Mallee joining the Cubs again, part of the coaching staff, and a guy who is Chicago through and through, So this was the dream job for him, having graduated from Mount Carmel High School and then eventually climbing the ladder to the Chicago Cubs and then working with a young Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant and Javi Baez and Kyle Schwarber and all of those guys. But, eventually he was let go. Now, one of the things that he did that was so helpful to the Cubs was he helped the Cubs kind of come up with an assessment for Dexter Fowler, who was with the Astros. And he knew about Dexter Fowler and kind of let the Cubs know exactly what to expect with Fowler. And maybe the Cubs don't win the World Series without their you go, we go leadoff guy. So David Ross being on the team and being the manager of the Cubs is bringing Mallee back. So it's pretty good. Mallee, after he was let go by the Cubs, he was with the Phillies. He was with the Angels when Joe Madden was there, and a lot of the old Cubs were there as well. He spent last year in AAA Iowa with the Cubs. He was the hitting coach there, did that for a year, and now he's back. But likable guy, knows what he's doing, worked with, the likes of Christopher Morel, who was on the team last year, Alexander Canario, maybe a guy like Pete Crow Armstrong. But I think that as we see the Cubs change their coaching staff, if you're David Ross, you want to bring in people that were part of the success that the organization had and then figure out how to get those guys, this team, to kind of follow suit. And going back to Mallee, who was fired after the 2017 loss in the NLCS, it was a string of one hitting coach after another when he left. And I'm telling you, what we figured out is that maybe the players needed to pay attention a little bit more. I mean, I know you can't fire the players, but maybe they needed to listen to what guys like Mallee or Chili Davis or whoever else came on after that told them about attacking pitching and taking, advantage of at-bats and going the other way and taking walks. After the 2016 World Series, I just felt like the organization, and I've told you that before, had this sense of entitlement and elitism that never manifests winning. And so it's been Jed Hoyer's job to try to rekindle the hard work and that blue collar mentality that it takes to be successful. And this is a good hire for the Cubs, adding John Mallee back and what he brings to the table. He's a bright guy. He's really likable, down to earth, nose hitting, been around the game for a long time. So this is a good move for the Chicago Cubs. And I love the fact that he was part of the team in 2016. And that experience is invaluable. I mean, when you're talking to someone about what it takes to climb the ladder, I mean, look at what the Rangers did. They went out and got Bruce Bochy. They don't win the World Series without Boch as manager. I mean, let's be serious here. And I know they have some great player. You know, Seager is an awesome shortstop, and Garcia, what he was able to do in the postseason, and Evaldi and all these different guys. But in baseball, leadership really matters. Direction matters. And I think that is why, if I'm David Ross and I'm trying to reshape the coaching staff, this is a coach that I'm excited to have back. I think that it gives you that person who's been there, done that, who knows hitting, and hopefully some of these young guys that are coming up that have struggled making the transition from AAA to the big leagues. And we've talked about that. I think one of the biggest weaknesses that the Cubs have had is not being able to find the success when guys get a chance in the big leagues, like Pete Crow Armstrong last year, like Matt Mervis, that they need to succeed. Those guys have to perform if the Cubs are going to do their thing and win at that level. So that's the news right now. We'll keep you updated on everything going on with the Cubs in the postseason. Thanks for being here on the Cubs Baseball channel. And again, if you want to be our hitting coach, it's easy to do. Like, subscribe, and if you enjoy the videos and Cubs content, give us a thumbs up, hit the bell so you know when we're dropping content. Thanks, guys.